Welcome, one and all, to Toon'd In. I'm Josh the Fox Mills. I review cartoons, no matter how new, no matter how old, no matter the cost. Hey Ian, watch me pull a review out of my hat.
You're not wearing a hat!
Oh. Well, here's something we hope you really like. The Rocky and Bullwinkle Show was first known as Rocky and His Friends during the first 2 seasons, and as The Bullwinkle Show for the last 3 seasons. The show originally aired from November 19th, 1959 to June 27th, 1964. The show was created by animation legend Jay Ward, who created several more cartoons and inspired countless other artists. Given critical acclaim, The Rocky and Bullwinkle Show was named by TV Guide in 2013 as the 6th greatest cartoon show of all time. The main story starred the titular characters Rocky the Flying Squirrel and Bullwinkle J. Moose, a moose, in all sorts of adventures and hijinks told in a serial fashion that would take many episodes to finish a plot arc. And you thought anime was the only one who did that. Shame on you. The villains of the series were just as, if not more entertaining than the heroes. Characters like Fearless Leader, Boris Badenov, or Natasha Fatale. Badenov? Fatale? Ha! I see what you did there. As I'm sure you can tell, the show is a classic combination of adventure and puns. The jokes are often so bad that they're actually charmingly funny again. How bad are these jokes? Well, check it out.
Send me to Siberia, send me to Wilkes-Barre, but not Mussolini.
No, Badenov, don't lose your head.
I'm not losing my head.
You will if you don't go to Mussolini.
And our heroes were quickly subdued.
I was pretty subdued when we started.
No, they're scouts.
If they're scouts, let's see them rub 2 sticks together.
They're football scouts.
Then let's see them rub 2 footballs together.
I don't want to alarm you, gentlemen, but it looks like disaster for what's the matter you.
What's the matter me? What's the matter you? Oh, I get it. The show itself was almost a variety show, with the main adventure being broke up into 2 little mini-sketches throughout the course of the full episode, and wrapped in other segments. Fractured Fairy Tales, along with Aesop's and Sons, were segments where we were given a skewed view of a fairy tale or a fable, capped with a pun to sum it up in the end. They were funny distractions to break up the suspense of the main show, but they were not my favorite. Dudley Do-Right was a parody of early 20th century melodramas, and stars Dudley Do-Right, a Canadian Mountie who is constantly in pursuit of his nemesis and criminal Snidely Whiplash, a villain who defines the classic villain tropes with black clothes, a black top hat, and an oversized handlebar mustache. Like most of Jay Ward's work, this too was full of marvelous puns. Sadly, a poorly done live-action movie could have damaged Dudley Do-Right's reputation forever. It is a true tragedy when art dies. Excuse me. I need a moment. Will Josh finish this episode? Find out next time in Jiminy Critics or Room with Review. Very good. Oh, what? Like you've never seen a fat guy eat before? It's on the Musylvania flag, for Pete's sake. Fine, I'll put my comfort food aside and continue with this review, if you insist. Peabody's Improbable History is the story of a genius dog and his pet boy, Sherman, traveling through time to learn about history. They tend to intervene with uncooperative historical figures and ensure that history proceeds as it was recorded. Think a comedic canine Doctor Who. Peabody and Sherman were the subject of their own movie in 2014, which was released to positive reviews. A rebooted solo series of Mr. Peabody and Sherman is now available on Netflix, so that's cool. I look forward to reviewing these new adventures in time once the new series becomes inactive. And speaking of time, it's 3:30, so I'm out of mine. Only one thing left to do is to give my final thoughts and find out... What does the fox say? I grew up watching Rocky and Bullwinkle, and although I can look back on it now and find it very corny, I can still see its value to society and comedy. Rocky and Bullwinkle is good for kids to watch, because it helps them learn basic aspects of comedy and humor that Jay Ward mastered. Perhaps even a little bit of morality here and there. Some of it is dated, but I feel that most of it has stood the test of time. I definitely recommend at least checking it out and seeing if it's for you. It is the 6th greatest cartoon of all time for a reason. And so ends my show once again, my friends. I've been looking at decades-old tunes for the last 5 episodes. Next week, I'm going to examine something a little bit more modern, with Ben 10. Until then, this was Josh the Fox Mills. Stay tuned.